Hey, hi, how are you? My name's Felt. Welcome back to some Magic the Gathering Arena. Today we're playing some classic Mindsplice, as the title implies. This is just a blue-white control deck that uses Mindsplice apparatus in order to typically win the game. Via either playing really big White Sun's Twilights, redrawing like 10 plus cards with Silver Scrutiny, being able to play really cheap board wipes like Farewell and Depopulate, and then maybe eventually hammering it home with either those tokens from White Suns or the Eternal Wonder, the one of in the deck. We also use Invasion of Arcavius to be able to hit our sideboard on occasion, which allows us to hit stuff like Sea Double, a Sunfall, as just a way to go get an extra board wipe that's slightly cheaper. Another White Sun's Twilight, so that I don't have all my eggs in one basket in my deck. Another Silver Scrutiny to redraw, a Memory Deluge, and then a Negate, just in case I'm playing a deck that is trying to, say, mill me out. And I'm running out of counter spells. It's a bit of a toolbox deck. It's a bit of, you have a little bit of everything in here. It's a lot of life gain as well, because a lot of aggro decks of the format really like to beat you down really fast, so 4 copies of Union and a Celestis will typically keep you running, so you can use White Sun's Twilight in the late game in order to just gain a bunch of life, make a bunch of tokens, profit. Let's right into some gameplay. Opponent goes first, but we have a Depopulate and a double Silver Scrutiny. This might work out. I'm not exactly holding my breath, though. I'll just play the Seachrome Coast. It gives away that we're Azorius, but... You know, the third path is a good draw here. Especially because it looks like we're playing into Rakdos. My opponent just... Alright, my opponent just like raw dogged out a Shieldred. And playing Union of the third path was too much. Honestly, if they just played more threats, that wouldn't have been so easy for me, but hey. GG's. My opponent goes first. Let's see how this goes. I like this hand. This has been a really weird early morning recording session. I'm going to play the Seachrome Coast. This is one of those, it gives away what I'm planning, but it comes in untapped, so... Still don't get everyone's love of these sleeves. I went on a little baby rant about that the other night. I don't get why everyone loves these sleeves so much. Just make it look like you don't take care of your cards. We'll syncopate if we have to, otherwise we're just probably going to Union of the third path here. They get to gain some life, but... that's literally it. I'm going to main phase Mindsplice while they are tapped out. Because now they have to have some, like, big answer to that Mindsplice, which makes the life much, much, much harder. Soul Partition is fine. They're wasting their turn doing stuff like Soul Partition in place of being able to draw and ramp. I will say I've gotten a tad unlucky here, so let's see if we can't draw some cards. And worst comes to worst, we'll bait out some counter spells from my opponent. That's fine. That is one more counter spell that they don't have access to. Especially because they're probably a Zergo and Ojutai deck, based on the fact that they're in Jeskai colors. Let's see, do they counterspell this? Or do they play their own Mindsplice apparatus? Alright, well, we have a second Mindsplice now. Sunset Revelry. Okay. Get to gain life and draw a card. Now they have 2 open mana. 3 open mana. Try and resolve a second Mindsplice. See if they let me do anything. Man, my opponent really doesn't want to play Magic the Gathering. Alas, can't win them all. I'm so sad that they actually had an answer to something for a bit there. We'll just full control and then hit it with the Soul Partition. Oh, they're out of interaction. That's good for me. We're just going to main phase this now. Because now they probably want to answer it themselves, and if they don't answer it themselves, well, things start popping out of control really fast. Arcane Bombardment. Okay. Was that a 6 mana spell? So I do X equals 6, and then I just drop the Depopulate and the Union of the third path. I only have to pay 2 mana? Sounds like a good thing to do. It allows me to keep holding up devious cover up. More than anything, that's all I really care about. Is holding up that devious cover up. Because we can go get some stuff back and have some fun that way. But yeah, my opponent's a bombardment deck, apparently. Which is weird, because I don't know why you're playing... let's just try and counterspell it and see what happens. Get back. Over scrutiny, a couple of unions, soul partition. They're out of counterspells. That bodes really well for me, in general. We can just play our Eternal Wonder if we draw a land, but that's very unlikely. Our will's pretty okay here. Our Mindsplice is growing. That's good. Unfortunately, we really only had that one Silver Scrutiny. Why are they running Spara's headquarters? You're Jeskai. You don't run Spara's headquarters. This is just incredibly unlucky on my part. I mean, like, not incredibly unlucky, but, like, not super lucky. I can't do anything about that. There's no reason for me to even try and counterspell it. Dropping the Brotherhood's End. Interesting. I don't know why they're running Bitter Reunion at all, to be completely honest with you. It doesn't seem to make any sense as a card, other than they play Arcane Bombardment, so they want to be able to bend some stuff. Yes, opponent, I have a trigger on the stack. You should probably let it resolve, because it's my turn. Not yours. Time to go on my random, regular rant about the fact that timers on Arena are not good. Even in best of 3, the timers aren't good. They're better, but they're not good. Because the way that they work just doesn't work for a game like Magic. It's not a true chess clock. This is a systemic problem with Arena, not really a, like, Magic clock problem in general. I don't know what my opponent is so scared of. They have so much open mana, and they know, and like everyone knows Mindsplice decks run Syncopate, so they're just giving me more time. Let this Mindsplice pop off. And let my Syncopates get bigger and bigger and bigger. They have so much open mana right now. I'm honestly just shocked and appalled that they aren't just playing the game right now. Wedding announcement. Okay. Press to combat. And do this in the combat phase and see what happens. Let's try and soul partition. Why not? You know, we'll see what happens. Second main. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open mana for my opponent. We will try and use our Union of the Third Path, which they might try and counterspell at this point in time, but we just kind of want to draw some stuff. Ooh, Silver Scrutiny, nice. If I could just draw some more of my deserted beaches, I'd be fine. That's really what I need right now. Adhikar. My wastes would also be acceptable here. Soul Partition's not the end of the world. Unfortunately, I need to resolve my Silver Scrutinies if I want to be able to do anything, right? One with the multiverse. I can play a Syncopate for X equals 6 for 1 mana. And my opponent just kind of scoops it up now. I'm not gonna lie, that's one of those decks that, that felt very win-con-less. Like, without their, like, Wedding Announcement's not really a win-con. It's a, you make some tokens, and everyone's going to deal with the tokens because everyone knows about Wedding Announcement. Arcane Bombardment, not really a win-con when your graveyard is Sunset Revelry, Soul Partitions, right? Like, I don't know. They didn't even get to see my win-con because I got stuck on 5 lands while they got to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Listen, I'm not going to lie. If you're a control deck with a 6-land advantage, even into a Mindsplice apparatus, you should probably be winning the game at some point or another, because you could easily just continuously force out resources and then refill your hand once those resources are gone. This has been felt complaints about other control players, part 9 billion. We're going first, we're going to keep. We only need 1 more land to make Celestis work. This is one of those awkward hands where, like, Syncopate and March are great. Not really. My opponent's in blue. I hope they're not mono blue tempo because that would make me cry. Oh, they're mono blue tempo. I want to cry. Why does that make me want to cry? Because it's a really boring deck. And matchup. And 9 times out of 10, they don't actually know what they're doing. If they counterspell this, that means I can just resolve Celestis, which is great. Nope, they're just going to let me gain 6 life for no reason. Alright. Thirst for Discovery? Impulse, I don't care. This is going to be another felt rants about silly stuff moment because it's early in the morning when I'm recording, and as a result of that, I am, adorable. Anyways. That's what, a 3-drop? Math is hard. If I do that, and I exile Farewell, I can kill it. Okay. Was that worth it? Maybe. Lots of mono blue tempo players don't know how to play the deck. People have heard that this deck is really cheap because it only really needs 4 rares because all you really need is 4 haughty gens. And they pick it up with the idea of, oh, well, I can just play that deck. And they don't actually know how to play it a lot of the time. It's kind of annoying. Stuff like this, like they play Delver. You don't play Delver in Gen. You don't. You just straight up don't. There's no reason to play Delver in Gen. You don't need it as a threat. Delver is not a big deal of a card, like at all. Oh no, a 3-2. Main phase and consider. Stuff like that is when I'm like, do these people not know how to play the deck? You play on your opponent's turn. And anyways, let's gain some life with Union of the 3rd Path. We'll probably try and resolve a Memory Deluge if they try and tap out for anything anytime soon. Honestly, we might also just play Memory Deluge so we can use Invasion of Arcavios on our upcoming turn here. I want to point out, we still have 24 life. Wow, that is a huge costed Tolarian Terror. That also just gave away the fact that they don't have a counterspell. Or do they? I clicked the wrong amount, it's fine. Sideboard, Sunfall. We're revealing that to keep them on their toes. Now they don't want to tap out anymore. But we'll go ahead and kill their Insectile Aberration. Unless they want to bounce it back to hand. Which is a pain in the butt. That right there was absolutely a march. Absolutely like a march of swirling mists being held up for priority reasons. I don't really want to do anything right now, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of just want to wait. I kind of want to just see if I can't bait something out of them. Another Djinn, another Terror, another something. Another Counterspell. I'm going to try and resolve Memory Deluge here, so on their instep. Why are they allowing me to resolve stuff? Mindsplice will probably never resolve. We'll take a Syncopate, though. We can Dissipate and Syncopate here. Let's make them burn resources. Honestly, what we probably should have done was, I can pay for that opponent. What we probably should have done is go get White Sun's Twilight and then just play it for 1 billion. Is this gonna work? Am I gonna kill it? Yep, I am. They probably have a Djinn in hand. That's fine. Ooh, spare Memory Deluge. Nice. Not just another Terror. Terror's not really that scary. I have a 1/1 blocker forever. We're just gonna try and main phase this. They only have 3 open mana. They don't really have that many things they can play. Devious Cover Up and Union. Nice. No, you do not get to refill your hand. Thank you. Come again. Impulse is okay. I can deal with an Impulse. Impulse only gets them 1 card. Union can potentially... Or, sorry, not Union. Thirst can potentially get them 2. Delver doesn't matter. We're gonna try and resolve a Union ourselves here. Cool. Back up to 18. My opponent is so aggro. It's so strange. You usually don't see... Usually don't see the mono blue players getting quite so aggro. Ooh, mindsplice. Let's see if we can resolve that in a second here. Slip out the back. We're just gonna do this during their combat phase and see what happens. We're gonna fight. We're gonna fight over these things. We only really have like a couple of cards, but my opponent is running out of resources too. You have to fight over every little tiny inch when it comes to this matchup. I can't use Soul Partition anymore without dropping Devious Cover Up, and I want to be able to make sure I can take this stuff out. Probably be able to Soul Partition on my upcoming turn. No. Union, Syncopate, Sunfall. Are you gonna let me do that? I just don't want them to have another thing. More proof that I don't think they know how to play this deck. Because that's just straight up not a good card. They're tapped out though, which bodes well. We will take the action. We will go hunting. White Suns, farewell. Exile all creatures. And that's why you fight over resources. That is why you fight over resources, baby. Fight over every inch. We're just gonna try and flash in some mind splices as just kind of a general what's happening on my opponent's side of the field moment. It doesn't look like there's much of anything. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 13, 14. Let's just go with just a nice solid 10. That's lethal. My opponent probably has a slip out the back, as well as a fading hope, as well as a yada yada yada. Yeah, that's fine. I'm up to 23 life. I no longer care, opponent. We have reached the climax. You're gonna have to do a lot to deal with this. Yeah, that's cute. That's still cute. I'm going to apply at least 8 poison on this upcoming turn because we're going to Soul Partition the Terror. Oh, they've realized that they're in big trouble. Yeah, that was absolutely kind of a case of me being like, I'm not quite sure they know what they're doing. Delver takes up a slot for more draw spells. It takes up a slot for more counter spells. Like, you don't need the threats. You all in the Haughty Djinns and Tolarian Terrors, and you just make it work. You don't include some random 4-mana 3/4 either. Which is just, you know, not normal, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think a lot of people know how to play this deck. I think they got a little unlucky, to be fair. They only hit a few impulses. I countered their thirst. But, like, also, they're running so many extra random creatures that you just don't need to run in that deck. I don't know. GG's. Opponent goes first, makes this hand not as good, but we're keeping it anyways because we ain't no yuckin' coward. Amirix really just brought the whole hand home, I'm not gonna lie. Honestly, if this is anything other than Dimir, it could, I mean, you know, Grixis, Rakdos. Honestly, this is probably going to end up being totally fine, though. It looks like it's just mono black, which is wonderful for this deck. They have a really hard time dealing with Mindsplice apparatus. I'm not going to lie, I don't know where the Gwenna came from. I'm absolutely going to just try and end step a Mindsplice here. Fight rigging's fine, we can self partition it later. Yeah, technically speaking, we do have to worry a little bit about the Terra Sunders of the world, so we're going to wait and do this on end step. And see how it goes. We'll probably be okay even if we don't get to keep Mindsplice. Come on, show me that Terra Sunder. Oh, Boseiju? That's okay. They're discarding a land and giving me a land, which is just wonderful. Thank you so much, opponent. Hang on. I'm going to make sure that this game stops trying to fuck me over with my Mirex. I'm going to just get rid of that real quick. If my opponent wants to just give me ramp, that's fine. Oh, is that just a full costed fight rigging? Okay. They are all in on that fight rigging, huh? Woo! We have the farewell, so I kind of just want to grab, like, the union. The Soul Partition also buys us a billion years. Now we also have Memory Deluge to refill the hand, so I don't know. I'm not really stressing about this. And we got another Memory Deluge. Oh, they're in trouble. Sorry, I can't help myself. This is some early morning recording. I don't know. I've said that in one of the other parts of the recording, I think. But this is like early morning magic. Like, it's not even 10 a.m. Oh no. Shakedown heavy. Wait for the trigger to go on the stack. Target it. Do they have a way to keep it alive? Sure, yeah. You can tell me safekeeping. I'm just gonna go looking through my deck now. Bye. Dissipate will be good for later, as will Otawara. The only thing I really think I'm worried about is if that's a Breach the Multiverse, but that's mostly just because I'm gonna lose a bunch of cards. I don't actually run any, like, permanents for them to get that I'm not going to be able to farewell. An extra fight rigging. Alright, well, farewell's about to pop the fuck off. But that only leaves open 2 mana. I feel like maybe I just hold up the Dissipate for whatever comes out of the fight rigging, because they get to cast it, by the way. I'm pretty sure it goes on the stack. Oh, that's fine. Literally doesn't bother me. We're just gonna farewell them, so who cares, right? We can also take the 9, because we're going to union and gain back most of our life. And as far as I know, they don't have a way to, like, you know, to Fairy's Ageless Insight themselves. That's fine. I like how they're like, I'm going to put a shield counter on something. Yeah, that's going to help against the farewell that I'm obviously going to play. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I wish I could get one more land off of this, eventually. Yeah, no, you can hit me. I'll go down to 16. That'll be fine. We run White Sun's Twilight. We're not scared. Play something that I can Devious cover up, coward. Oh, this'll work. Farewell! Creatures and enchantments, and I'll say artifacts anyways, because why not? Alright, well, there goes their entire board state. I wish this could go get an artifact. That'd be so cool. I could sideboard a Mindsplice and then have it on a tutor. A 5-mana Minds... Technically, they'd make it a 9-mana Mindsplice. That'd be so silly. Yeah, my opponent's clearly just a fight rigging combo deck. That's fine. As I'm sure people are seeing, we're kind of kicking its butt. We're really just here to have a good time. Scrap Gorger doesn't scare me at the moment. But that's more of a, we should probably get these Memory Deluges out of my yard. So they have removal spells, that's what they're sitting on. That's probably what's stuck in hand right now. We will grab our Eternal Wanderer and then just a Make Disappear, I think. We'll just play the Eternal Wanderer, I'm not gonna lie. I wonder if it's an Edict effect, in which case we probably want to make it disappear.
Try to best me.
We're just gonna get rid of the Scrap Gorger for a couple of turns.
You're coming with me.
It just keeps our graveyard safe and away from, my Memory Deluge away from them. We could also just, like, try and hardcast something here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. But between the Dissipate and the Make Disappear, I'm really, really not concerned at all. We're honestly probably just going to keep plussing the Eternal Wanderer until I get rid of their, until I feel like doing something else. Maybe until I find my mindsplice.
I'll handle.
We'll probably start doing Mirix stuff here soon. Use Union to regain some life, use Mirix to put threats on the board. Probably Union this turn because my hand is so full. Oh no, it's a Phyrexian Obliterator. Anyways. I'm not gonna lie, that's just straight up a really bad matchup from my opponent. I'm not even joking, I'm pretty sure them channeling Boseiju early to ramp me. Like, technically speaking, they anti-ramped me because I got rid of my mindsplice, so I couldn't play as much stuff as cheap, but they gave me lands in order to hit big spells earlier, and I think that just gave them way too many problems. To be fair, sequencing, I should have unioned to the third path first and then dissipated because I would have gained more life, but that doesn't really matter that much, as you can see. GG's. We're going first, and I'm pretty okay with this. This is on the verge of unkeepable, but this is kind of that... Apparently we're just too scary. Opponent goes first. We have the slowest ramp hand ever, but I don't want to get rid of it. This hand is really, really solid into a chunk of decks. But if it's pure aggro... Oh, I just realized my opponent is running Jay's Sleeves and Jay's Avatar. If they're not running Mill, or just like full control, I will never be more disappointed in a human being. I am so disappointed in you right now, opponent. Basic Plains on turn 1 absolutely implies that they're not playing like blue. This is probably mono white mid-range. Yep, totally is. We will tempo them a little bit. Because this also means we can safely play Celestis at the moment without worrying about anything. We got our own Eternal Wanderer now. That's good. The reason I wanted to do that is because it's possible that they miss a land drop off of it. Not entirely probable, but possible. Yeah, sure. Go for it. You can hit that borrowed time, I guess. Play our Mirix. Get that rolling. We'll eventually get rid of that when we want to farewell later on. Unfortunately, this is only artifact or creature. It doesn't hit enchantments. Archangel, Elspeth. I don't care. Guess we are grabbing 2 lands. Wow, what a terrible Memory Deluge.
We can save everyone. We fight together.
I guess we just play Invasion of Arcavios here and then just go get like something from the sideboard, like Sea Devil. And just, like, hold that up and be like, we could make you see double. Ooh. Like that, you know? It's not really that great of a spell, but it's pretty powerful. I'm leaning in towards we probably play Eternal Wanderer and start plussing on them stuffs. And then later on when my opponent plays like another borrowed time of some sort to take it out, I will, I'll just farewell. They're really staring at the invasion, huh? Yeah, they'll probably want to keep attacking the Eternal Wanderer just because she's a big threat. But the mono white decks don't really have a great way of dealing with her unless they run Fateful Absence, which a lot don't lately. Apparently they're running Adeline. Now we're just going to farewell them now. Ooh, that makes this farewell even better. I take 4 whole damage here. Wow. Anyways, creatures and enchantments. I get my Celestis back, which is nice. We can technically use Celestis to help us cast our March at some point here. We would have to exile the Eternal Wanderer, though. Are they about to go slam, like windmill slam another borrowed time? That'd be funny. Are they playing the Oops All Elspeth's deck that I've seen? Oh my god, they did windmill slam another borrowed time. That's adorable. I mean, yeah, I guess you can have it. We'll be able to use this March eventually. If they just plus that, I think we just play Eternal Wanderer and plus ours. The worst they can play here for 2 mana isn't... There's not really that many, like, dangerous things here. Just play the Eternal Wanderer and just start plussing it on their little guys. Mana Tide's not a thing in this format, so I don't have to play around the 1, so I didn't need to play a Ganjo. What's holding priority? It's either a Fateful Absence or like a Soul Partition or something. It's Fateful Absence, that's fine, I guess. I'm not happy about it, but it's fine, I guess.
I bought us some time.
Ossification doesn't bother me.
On any longer.
We'll probably march it on some end step here. God, why is that Elspeth so loud? We'll just pass turns, pass priorities. We'll probably our plan is probably flash in Mindsplice, exile Ossification. We also want to hold up C double just in case they play some big spell that I want to counter, so we'll probably do all of our fancy stuff on their end step. Man, they're really into the whole actually try and beat your opponent to death plan, huh? Which is really strange. Most mono white decks that are the mid-range just try and go super wide. This one is so into beating me down. They clearly have some form of instant, and I'm not sure what it is. And it's really weird. Let's get rid of that ossification, shall we? And now our Mindsplice will start getting discounted, which will be wunderbar. I don't know if Surge of Salvation hits their everything. I would like my opponent to play faster than a turtle. That would just generally be nice, I think. Alright, we finally have some true counter magic as well as this C double. We'll probably use Memory Deluge in the next couple of turns to make sure we can dig a little bit deeper for our answers. My guy. You okay? How many, like, random exile effects has that been so far? I think we'll just go for the Memory Deluge here, because I don't really think they have anything at instant speed. Oh, they're just going to concede, because they've realized that... I guess they've realized that Elspeth can't compete. They make 1 creature a turn. I exile 1 creature a turn. -6ing? That's an empty graveyard, because I exiled it all. I legitimately just think they realized that I'm gonna memory deluge, get card advantage, probably draw a card advantage off of that, still have a CE double to be able to copy a target spell at some point in case they play something that I really, really want to play. And yeah, as a result of that, I think they just kind of gave up. GG's. Opponent goes first, makes me feel a little more comfy about this hand. Not super comfortable, we need an extra land in order to make this work. My opponent's mulling heavily, which makes me think they're aggro. They are most definitely aggro. We got our third land, which means we can union at some point, which bodes well. Werewolf aggro. Not what I expected to see. I don't really have a choice there. If this is a... Really all I care about is countering the stuff that draws them cards. Oh, Hellpack Piper. That's awkward. You ever just watch your opponent mull to 5 and perfectly top deck some cards? That's cool. Second Hellpack Piper doesn't really bother me. We're just gonna play the Celestis. And pray. A lot of prayers. Invigorating Hot Spring, huh? I think we union here so we don't die. My opponent clearly doesn't have anything else to play, right? Yeah, if we union here, we can still hold up stuff. Push decline, gain the life, draw the card. Okay, good, we can farewell now. We also do that in order to keep my opponent out of the game. Alright, so that now has, that's gone. We'll just get rid of that. And I don't think we die here. We have too much life. And we'll exile their enchantments and creatures. What did they get? Just a pack song pup? Doesn't bother me. Eternal Wanderer is actually pretty okay here. I'll drop the Make Disappear. It doesn't feel like it'll do that well. Creatures and enchantments. Get rid of all that shit, shall we? And then we'll probably play Invasion of Arcavios here in order to, Never mind, we're playing Eternal Wanderer to keep that guy off the board.
Oh, I've made it just in time. I'll handle this one.
That thing is 6 mana right now. They're not casting that for a hot minute. They can cast that little guy. If they wanna. Don't have a choice. He's gone.
Have a nice trip.
Kind of just want to flash in my Mindsplice apparatus here. Also, 1, 2, 3. Stay out of my graveyard, please. Mindsplice will just slowly become cheaper over time now. Paxong Pup isn't getting any bigger. They are doing the smart play. They are trying to slowly hit my face. I don't know what's holding prior there. Is it really just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8?
You're coming with me.
Let's just play the invasion here and just sideboard in a Silver Scrutiny. Which sounds super strange, but I think just drawing a ton of cards will be incredibly useful. They get to draw 1 whole card. That's fine. I'm not exactly scared of what my opponent's doing here. We will just continuously exile this thing. Like, it's so worth it. Tomio's safekeeping. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3. That is so hilariously lucky on my opponent's part. Oh, there we go. 4. Got there. They don't gain the 2 life anymore. play that tapped. Take the action. Gain a life. They have 5 open mana. That, sucks butts. I can't do anything about that. Honestly. If I were them, I'd blow up the Celestus because it gains me life. But at the same time, I do have a mindsplice apparatus. Ooh, goodbye. Yeah, the Celestus is more important, though, opponent. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you. And now we can have creatures to sacrifice for make disappear reasons.
Show them the edge of your blade.
Calm down, Eternal Wanderer. Can't be countered, but that's fine. I don't really care. Flash this in. We'll just get rid of that, shall we?
I'll handle this one.
And because that Hellpack Piper isn't on the board at the moment, it's not triggering anything. Yet. I think it triggers now because it just enters the battlefield, right? Yeah, that sucks. We more or less just need to start holding up blockers at this point, I believe. Oh, well, that flies too. We probably got them at this rate. If nothing else, we'll start just making so many attackers they can't really keep up. No, bad. Or werewolves. Oh, my game just lagged so hard.
Keep your eyes sharp.
And I think that's GG. I don't think there's anything they can do that'll kill me in one turn. Unless they can find a way to haste stuff up. I can just get that off the battlefield right away again anyways. Yeah, they didn't even get a chump blocker there. I'll just do it as fast as possible, put them out of their misery. That was a brutal game for my opponent. You might see the 9 life and be like, oh, they had their foot in the door. They might have pulled it out. No. They had one point in time where they had me slightly on edge, and it's when they played Tamio's safekeeping. I might have gone down to like 5 life there, but I would have drawn into something else eventually. To be fair, I did draw into the depopulate a couple of turns later anyways, right? So, but whatever. GG's. We're going first. Love it. Boop. Soul Partition and Syncopate together means fun for the whole family. Not really. Nice sleeves. I don't know what they're playing then. Believe it or not, you can actually guess a fair amount about your opponent's deck by sleeves and avatar. There's a lot of people that only really will march that. I feel like marching it is better than syncopating it. I feel like the syncopate will be better for something else in the near future. I don't really want to do this, but it gives me enough mana for Memory Deluge. Guaranteed. They're probably... Wow. It is early. That has to stay in, because I don't edit these. This is probably just 5-color good stuff. Based on the fact that they're playing all tri-lands, makes me think it's Reanimator. Alright, well, good thing we're holding up Syncopate, am I right? Yep, it's just 5-color good stuff with a Reanimator twinge. Probably an Invasion of Telvada on the back foot here. Hopefully we find a Farewell and can just like hit their graveyard. Bitter Reunion's fine. Don't really care that much about you getting more cards in your hand. Yep, it's just Graveyard Synergy shenanigans. That's fine. Don't know why they're playing it in 5-color good stuff, but hey man, you do you. Home Slice. Mindsplice Apparatus, and we'll take a land. I kind of wanted to take the Eternal Wanderer, but... meh. That bodes well. That means we get at least one turn here to probably play Mindsplice. Combat Thresher. Okay. My opponent is confusing the ever-loving fuck out of me. Go ahead and flash in this. And I think we'll just go ahead and exile that Combat Thresher with the Soul Partition. Just buy myself a turn again. They either draw another card off it, but, like, honestly, potentially making my opponent deck themselves is absolutely a thing we do down here. By down here, I mean in the slums of Control. We'll eventually be able to draw some stuff off Memory Deluge. At the moment, we're holding up 2 counter spells, which would be very nice. I'm expecting the Invoke Justice. They have the 5 mana. Okay. No reason to play the Union. We want to do this so we can go looking through the most amount of cards possible. Make Disappear and Deserted Beach sound good. I know I only have X equals 4 for Syncope, but that should be more than enough to counter most stuff my opponent plays. That's good. Rankle and Torbrankle. Can't pay for that. They're just really just playing 5-color good stuff over there. We'll go ahead and play this, just get it out of my hand. We need to find a way to draw some cards. This will fly. Alright, that's not really card draw, but I'll take it. I don't think my Mindsplice is big enough that Memory Deluge from the graveyard. Oh, never mind. Yeah, Memory Deluge from the graveyard still costs 4 mana right now. Elder Dragon War. I guess you can have that? Don't quite know why they want to play it at all. Yeah, 2 damage. I'm down to 24. Bitter Reunion's fine. We'll just go grab some more cards. White Sun's Twilight and Silver Scrutiny. Well, we're cooking. We could probably play White Suns and then have it backed up by something else. Alright. We'll decline. X. Okay, so that's 4. So we can play it for X equals 5 pretty easily, and then have a Syncopate to back it up. I don't want to. I want to just wait. I want to, like, be able to Silver Scrutiny on their turn, and then, like, maybe draw into some answers without having to really commit to anything. Honest to God, though, I'm, like, really surprised at what my opponent's doing right now. They're acting like they're Reanimator, but they're not reanimating anything. They're just gonna, like, hard cast a Kaya now? Because that's kind of strange, I'm not gonna lie. We'll get him eventually, I'm sure. This deck seems to perform really well right now. Bonebreaker Valkyrie. Doesn't get indestructible, why do I care? That's my mentality about a lot of creatures people run right now. Oh no, I'm gonna take 5 damage and go down to 21. How abysmal. I can't believe this happened. I don't know if this Mirex gave it away, opponent, but I'm planning on winning through poison. Go ahead and draw 3 more cards. Ooh, Farewell. That's even better. I said Sunfall because I saw a card that exiled stuff. Oh, I'm back with 28, by the way. Yeah. I kind of just want to exile enchantments and graveyards. Let's just go enchantments and graveyards. I don't care about my life total. My life total's fine. I have 28 life. If I get rid of all of that stuff. We do lose our graveyard, but that's not the end of the world. We don't really have our stuff where it matters yet. My opponent is clearly holding up some type of something, though. There's some form of interaction over there. I think we'll just hang out. Make Disappear can be cast and make something have some personal opponent here have to pay 4. Oh no, we took 5 damage. Ah. Anyways. I wonder if they're just sitting on Go for the Throats, and that's what's causing problems. I, for one, am shocked. Shocked, I say. I'm very confused. Alright, well, Dissipate makes this life so much easier. I really think we're just gonna wait until we can play White Sun's Twilight and have it matter. To be fair, we can make 2 little tokens a turn now. We have all that open mana, and the Mindsplice is getting so large that we can just, like, syncopate. Why don't I just, like, not let you do that? That sounds good. That sounds solid. Let's not give you a second one. The clock might get a little fast then. Urborg Scavengers. Scavenge these nuts. Ha, got him. We'll make 2 more guys. Isn't that cute? Oh, you're just going to keep attacking in despite the fact that you were going up to 7 poison. Aww. I just got a card that makes this... My poor graveyard! I could have used that. Yeah, all I have is Make Disappear now, but we also have White Sun's Twilight and a Devious Cover-Up as well. My brain just clicked that that's a counter spell. I think of Devious Cover-Up as the, like, you get stuff back from the graveyard. The card. You know you die on the way back now, right, opponent? Yeah, we'll just submit 0. We don't care. You die on the way back. Like, just straight up hard die. 100% chance of death on the way back now. Save this. Yeah, okay. That's still lethal. Ah, they realize. Yeah, I don't know why they kept swinging with the Boombringer Valkyrie. I think holding it... At some point in there, holding it back became the right decision, I think. Because I just had so much life. And I wasn't winning through... I wasn't winning through damage, I was winning through poison because of... Mirrex. But yeah, GG's. You saw how the deck performed. It performs really well. I do think it has classic problems that any control deck will run into. Some of the faster decks of the format might run you down really hard. Union of the Third Path and Celestis will help with that, and White Sun's Twilight in the late game also helps with that. But sometimes Mono Red on the draw just has all of the answers. Sometimes Mono Red on the play will just burn you out before you have a chance to do anything. I think this variant of the deck is really consistent and fun. I've seen quite a few variations on Mindsplice decks. This is just the latest one that I've come up with. I'm a really big believer in Invasion of Arcavios as a way to just, like, go to your sideboard and find a silver bullet. I think it's wonderful. I think it's a slightly more expensive card in the Great Creator that's not repeatable, and because of that, it's a much more balanced card. The one and done unless you pay the 5 mana again after, like, maybe soul partitioning it. And then Eternal Wanderer is just a great planeswalker. It can take out tokens and make them just never come back. You can make yourself tokens that can block. You can do a board wipe. All sorts of good stuff on one planeswalker. And something else that I like about this deck that I don't think I've brought up that much yet is that it's incredibly good into 2 major flavors of decks at the moment, and that is Breach the Multiverse at all costs and Atali at all costs. Why do I call them that? Because that seems to be the only way they win the game. There's a couple of decks running around that their whole game plan is to ramp into Atali ASAP, and you just don't care. Atali's not really going to steal that much from you that's that exciting. It's like board wipes, card advantage, counter spells, right? Your win con is typically a White Sun's Twilight, or just Mirrexing them down eventually. And you hide a White Sun's in the sideboard, so unless they hit Invasion, you can still probably go find it eventually. And Breach can only hit your singular Eternal Wanderer, and if you draw Soul Partition, you can just get it back. So it actually does pretty well into those decks as well, because it's also a control deck, and those decks do poorly into control decks. It does have the problem of other control decks might give you a hard time. This does really well into mid-range and aggro for the most part, because of all the life gain and all the cost reduction and the huge syncopates and stuff. But if other control decks just, like, hit their land drops better, get their Celestis out first, get their Murex rolling first because they found it first, you're probably going to have a bad time. But that's the case for lots of matchups like that, right? It's very, very dependent on how the draws go. But this deck is still super fun. I still like it a lot. I still think it's incredibly powerful. I think it's incredibly annoying to play into. A number of times I've watched my opponents just kind of flounder, like, I can't kill him. He has 40 life because I just hit several Union of the Third Paths in a row after I refilled with the Silver Scrutiny. It's satisfying. It's satisfying. But yeah, thanks for watching. Deck list will be down in the description below as per usual. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that cool stuff. And I hope to catch you in the next one.